Jesus took a few loaves of bread and transformed it into a meal to serve thousands. Our challenge is to take these ingredients and transform it into a meatless meal to serve on Fridays during Lent to our students here at Providence College.
So I'm in charge of making the salad. What I've got here is what I like to call a three-word salad, out of control. We've got our lettuces here, some mixed greens, but also a little bit of spinach in there to add a little kick to it. Make sure that this is a veggie-heavy situation. We've got cucumbers and tomatoes. Get back here. But especially during Lent, it's important that on our meatless Fridays that we also try to get some sources of protein. So I've got some tofu and some beans here as well to add that little protein there. But I'm also on a bit of a health kick. So I've got these 4 types of seeds here that I want to kind of mix up a little bit, sprinkle over the salad. That's where it gets out of control. Yeah, thinking about the chef and my 3-word salad, out of control salad, I am a little worried that he'll think I just, should probably do less. I mean, it does have about 12 ingredients, and some of them might not pair all that well together. But I tell him, it takes a sophisticated palate to enjoy excellent things. So, and I think our students here at Providence College have an elevated palate. Add a little salt, little kick to it. We've got some olives and artichoke hearts here. And when you get older, you'll start to appreciate root vegetables such as Brussels sprouts and beets here. So I'm going to add those as well on top here to make this 3-word salad, out of control salad. And one of the great things about being at Providence College is that during Lent, you don't really have to think too much about accidentally eating meat on Fridays because we make sure that we get rid of the meat. But that doesn't mean that there aren't great options here to make a fantastic meal and even an out of control salad. Well, yes, of course, I am a little worried about our team. We don't have a lot of culinary experience. I mean, the last time Father Clement picked up a spatula, he nearly burned down the entire priory. Well, Simon, he's a man of creative ideas, but can he actually translate that creative energy into something that will impress Paulo and the staff here at Ray Dining? I don't know. We'll see.
So I'm going to make sautéed spinach for the side, and it's a myth that you can't have any animal products for Lent, so I'm actually going to start by heating up some butter.
Coming to this, I was very confident in Father Clement and Father Damien until I look over and see Father Clement and he's preparing to saute spinach and butter, and I'm like, hold on a second, is that butter? Is that cream cheese? What's going on here? What's going on, Father Clement? What is going on?
You're using cream cheese. You need to use the butter. May I help you? Yeah. We gotta use the other thing. You got it? Yeah. We bought it now.
Okay.
Yeah. You can put a little. It's better if you saute onion now, right now. Saute onion. Get a black drink. Okay, no. Let me help you. I can show you how. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was, in one sense, that was kind of a low moment for our team when we needed to have a professional step in, have Sonia kind of push Father Clement out of the way and take control. On the other hand, you gotta love Sonia. She's been here forever. She's been here since I was a student. I think that's really gonna help elevate our game in the end, getting that kind of one-on-one expertise to one of our, let's be honest, weakest links of our team.
I'm Father Clement. I am the associate chaplain, kind of the newest of the 3 of us. I just got here last June. So this is my first Lent here at Providence College, my first experience of a meatless Ray, and it's an absolute delight to be so accommodated. You know, the abstinence on Fridays isn't because meat is bad or anything. It's just we deprive ourselves of a little bit of flavor on the day that we commemorate the crucifixion. And we used to, or in parts of the world, they still do this every Friday of the whole year. But we do it especially in the season of Lent because it's a whole preparation for celebrating the crucifixion. And I'm going to add the spinach now. I might need to steal some more in order for it to be enough. But when I was living on my own before I entered the order, I kind of regularly would do meatless things because they were cheaper and simpler. Yes, add just a little bit more spinaches. Oh, you've stolen
More
me.
spinach?
More spinach. Spinach is incredible. It's always shrinking.
So, Father Clement, what are we cooking here?
It's a little sauteed spinach. I've added some chickpeas, also called garbanzo beans, just for some fun.
That's a lot of spinach.
Spinach gets really small as you cook it, so you have to start off with a bunch.
Oh, that must have what happened to me because I'm really small.
You're overcooked.
I'm overcooked. That was my issue. I'm not short. I'm overcooked. Thank you, Father.
Now, I've heard you're afraid of vegetables.
I just wouldn't see Fridays and Lent is pretty hard for me because I don't like eating vegetables, so I try to avoid Fridays in general.
How do you do that?
It's not going well. I've lost every single time. So this is your first year as a chaplain here at PC. How's that going?
Very well. It's actually pretty exciting to be at an environment where everybody is trying to keep the season of Lent, where everybody's trying to worship God, and where we can do fun things like you cook.
I mean, Father Clement's dealing with the vegetables, but I hear he's never even seen VeggieTales. I mean, come on.
Have you ever seen VeggieTales?
No,
You've never seen VeggieTales?
I've never seen VeggieTales.
Are you for real? You're
No.
a priest and you've never seen VeggieTales?
I think I'm a little old for VeggieTales.
But you never even like watched it for fun?
No.
Broccoli, celery, gotta be VeggieTales. You know the concept, right?
They're vegetables.
But then they tell you about God. So like this would be perfect of you.
I don't know how it's weird that I've never seen VeggieTales. I've never seen VeggieTales, okay? It's a TV show. Yeah, I think you hate vegetables just because you're lame.
That's ridiculous. You cannot make fun of me. You're the one that tried to cook vegetables with cream cheese.
I want to answer the butter allegations because Father Simon set me up by getting that oiled yellow butter that's kind of like, can't believe it's not butter. But I did in fact had butter. It was just white. He set her up, sent her in there. I experienced this as hate, but not from her.
That's BS. It was definitely cream cheese. Definitely cream cheese. You're trying to dig yourself out
Cream
of this one,
cheese
Father
does
Clement.
not
You're
melt.
trying to dig yourself out of this. I don't know. Sonia said it wasn't butter.
She was set up. It's entirely Father Simon's fault. Ready to put on the plate?
I'm in charge of making the main, and I'm gonna try to make a meatless carbonara. But instead of the spaghetti, I've got penne. Instead of the bacon, I've got a vegetable medley. And instead of the egg sauce, I'm gonna do a homemade cream and butter garlic onion sauce. So looking forward to it. I'm a flexible kind of guy, I'm willing to fill in whenever there's a need. And Father Damien and Father Clement did not want to do the main dish. They don't even want to be here today. They'll never tell you that. But they're happy to be here, and I'm happy to take the main dish.
Let's face it, Father Simon did the main dish because he's the boss.
Yeah, let's be honest. Both of us really wanted to do the main dish. In fact, we were so excited. This is actually our whole idea.
Yeah.
He's just kind of taking all the credit for it, like he always does.
Being the chaplain means you're always the main dish guy.
Yeah, and we're always just the side dishes.
I never really like being in the spotlight. I always like to give Father Clement and Father Damien the opportunity to shine, but they really insisted that I'm the chaplain, so I should really be the one doing the main dish. And so I'll take one for the team. I'll do it. All right, we're gonna start with the sauce. I'm trying my hand at inventing a new recipe, a little cream sauce, a little butter, a little cream, a little salt, a little pepper, a little onion powder, a little garlic powder, just fry it all together. Pretty simple, great for the simplicity of Lent, and can't wait to try it, see how it turned out. Some students are really used to using YouCook and they're really used to the meat options there, and it kind of unsettles them when they come in on a Friday in Lent and all there is tofu and eggs and vegetables, and it really wasn't a problem for me because I'm just used to doing this, as a friar, we give up meat not just on Fridays in Lent, but every Friday and every Wednesday too in the priory, and I'm just, it's kind of like second nature to me. Breathing in air, breathing in meatless options is all kind of the same to me. One pan for the sauce, one pan for the main. Okay, sauce is ready. Time to give it a taste test. Mmm. Spot on.
Oh, good. I was looking for the milk. There we go.
Oh my God. Did not go according to plan. So unfortunately, gotta take the F on the sauce, but luckily I've got a plan B.
I knew that wasn't milk, but I saw how terrible that sauce was going to come out. I had to do something to sabotage it, to stop him from totally destroying our chances of winning.
Time for plan B. Start with the veggies, throw in the pasta at the end. One key reason why I'm doing the main dish is because I grew up on VeggieTales and I'm just really familiar with Larry the cucumber, Bob the tomato, the whole asparagus family, the grapes of wrath, all of them, that I'm just really familiar with vegetables. I'm a man of vegetables, and I'm excited to do this vegetable carbonara today.
Can you tell me a little bit something about what you're preparing, Father?
Yeah, so I'm making a kind of like meatless carbonara in place of spaghetti. I have penne though.
Okay.
And in place of the bacon, I've got this sort of vegetable medley. And in place of the egg sauce, I had an amazing homemade cream-based, butter-based, garlic, onion-based homemade sauce. Unfortunately, Father Damien put Fruit Loops in it because he thought it was milk. Don't know how he's going to get a doctorate with that. But luckily, the awesome staff here at Ray had me a backup bowl of fettuccine. So it's turning into a sort of like penne fettuccine, sort of meatless.
Fettuccine is a type of pasta.
I'm trying my best.
Fettuccine is, I don't even have a mic, but fettuccine
too hot.
So I don't think that vegetable medley is a really good substitution for bacon. Can you tell me a little bit about that decision? Where's the one-for-one transaction?
Well, it's not a one-for-one. You might think it's like a substitutionary transaction. It's not a one-for-one, but it's a many-for-one.
Would you say you're overcompensating with the amount of vegetables compared to the one ingredient?
I would not say that. Look, we've got tomatoes, we've got carrots, we've got peas, we've got broccoli, we've got mushrooms, we've got cheese.
It doesn't sound like it's a good combination, but I'm excited to see how it turns out.
I'm excited to see. I think Paulo, great guy, awesome chef. I think he's going to like it.
Yeah, you think he'll like it?
Well, I hope so. I'm kind of nervous, but we're doing it for the Lord. We're doing it for the students.
That's
Go
great
Friars.
To hear. That's great to hear.
Okay. And in goes the sauce. Sometimes students get a little frustrated that they don't serve meat in the cafeteria here on campus on Fridays in Lent. I think it's an opportunity for us all to enter into the sacrifice of Jesus, to offer this difficulty of this fasting in union with Christ's own death on the cross. And the Lord has promised us that anytime we unite our sufferings with the sufferings of the Lord, He will take that pain and that sacrifice and He'll use it for the salvation of the world. So if you're a PC student and you're a little bit frustrated that there's no meat here on Fridays during Lent, offer it up. Offer it up for your family, or for your loved ones, or for your friends, and God will do great things with that. Okay, and finally, the...
Do you know?
I
Do
can't
you
catch a
honestly
break with
know
these
what kind
people.
of pasta this is?
I'm not here to answer questions.
But
I'm
do
not,
you know what kind of pasta? It's important to me. No. Do you have any idea?
It's
This is like the most common type of pasta. So this is actually concerning. Do not put that back in there. That fell on the ground and everybody saw it, and you thought about it.
Fettuccine. You're making fettuccine. Oh, that's
No,
great.
you thought this pasta. On a scale of like Federal Hill Restaurant to Olive Garden, what do you think this Italian dish is gonna?
I mean,
rank?
I definitely put it on like Chalkstone. You know, Chalkstone Ave. It's pretty. I'm gonna let the judge decide. You know, who am I to judge this pasta dish?
That's a very Christian thing, like not judging. Do you want to speak on that?
No, judgment is important, but I want to leave it up to the true judge, Chef Paulo. He's the one who will render judgment upon this dish.
And then God.
Well, yes, God, ultimately God, yes.
Okay. For dessert, we're going to go a little international. By international, I mean Greek yogurt. So, since it's Lent, for dessert, it's good to go with something that's a little bit more low-key than just your standard sweet treat situation. So we've got the Greek yogurt. We're going to take some honey to give it a little natural sweetness there. Drizzle that in here. And then, of course, to add some texture as well as some additional sweetness, sprinkle some of this granola on top. But also to keep this healthy, we've got some fruit here. So the fruit of the day is cantaloupe and honeydew melon. So we'll put that on top. That's ready to go right there. But also, got a few dates here on the side because that would have been a delicacy that Jesus would have eaten in the Holy Land. So have a little date on the side to help remind you of our Lord. And it might be the only date you have all year, but it'll be a sweet one.
Hi, everybody. My name is Paulo Lebre. I'm the campus executive chef here at Providence College.
Chef, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Are you excited to try some dishes today?
I am. I'm very excited. Yeah, this is fun for me, of course. How confident am I that the fathers could produce a meal that would be served for the Friars here during a meal period? I'm cautiously optimistic that they can do that. Our student body can be pretty unpredictable. Find them liking some options that I didn't think they would, and sometimes they don't like things that I thought they would. So I think they have a shot.
Chef Paulo, we've got our 3-word salad, our out-of-control salad.
Initially, looking at this dish, when you presented it, Father, it looks very healthy and definitely something that I would eat if I was, watching what I'm eating. I'm excited to try this. Little seed action in there for crunch.
That's a lot of seeds on one cucumber.
I agree. It is a lot of seeds on one cucumber, but they taste good, I must say.
Really saved it there.
I love beets. Beets. I like the mixture of raw vegetables with cooked vegetables.
There's no way he was intending that.
Yeah, that doesn't seem intentional.
Nice contrast.
But that's what's here.
That is what's there.
Okay, yes, thank you.
Yep. It was very intentional pairing of cooked and uncooked to kind of give a contrast.
Well done. I like the different proteins. You got tofu here, which looks wonderful, and you got some chickpeas as well, and a little bit of olive for saltiness.
Now, he decided to go with no dressing. Do you have any comment? Do you think it needed dressing? Do you think that was a good choice?
It needed dressing. It's a little dry. It's kind of what I'm missing here, but all in all, not bad.
Not bad. What would you rate it out of 10?
I would give this a 6 out of 10.
Would you serve it as a salad of the day in Ray?
Probably not. My thought process around creating a menu for Fridays during Lent usually consists of me trying to offer a variety of options to the students. Not everybody likes seafood on campus, so we try to mix in some filled pastas and some other protein options so that somebody can, prepare themselves a good meal.
So as a side, we have sautéed spinach with chickpeas.
Okay. This looks healthy. I love spinach.
Oh, sort of Popeye.
Yeah. Strong. Pleasantly surprised there.
Pleasant surprise.
You got the spinach, which I love the flavor of. Is that butter?
There's butter.
The chickpeas add a nice contrast in texture. It's seasoned pretty well. This is a pretty good side.
Going back to your butter question, is there a reason why you asked if it was butter?
Well, I noticed Father had something that looked like cream cheese earlier in his pan, so I just wanted to clarify. If I was going to rate this as a side, I would rate this probably an 8 out of 10. And I would definitely serve this in ramen during Lent. Yep.
Yeah, all right.
Actually, gonna have another bite.
It's gonna have another bite.
All right, Chef, we've got a baconless carbonara, but without spaghetti, it's penne, and without bacon, it's a vegetable medley, and without the carbonara sauce, it's Alfredo sauce.
Okay.
Bon appetit.
Wow.
A lot of substitutions, Chef.
Yes, a lot of substitutions. Very colorful, though. Right? It's appealing to the eye, which you get bonus points for that, for sure. Penne is one of my favorite pastas, Father, and also one of the favorites of the students here as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have data on that? Do you know what second place is?
I do not. I do not. Could probably look that up. I do not have that off the top of my head. I would say probably spaghetti or fettuccine would be the next ranking one. Students like the stringy pasta as well. I'm not sure I'd call it a carbonara.
Come on.
Carbonara inspired.
It's seasoned well and it tastes good. And the vegetables are all cooked appropriately, which is nice. You don't see that a lot when people cook. Usually they undercook or overcook their vegetables. The cheese is nice as well. Kind of ties it all together. I love mushrooms.
What about the temperature of the dish? Is it to your liking?
Yeah, this dish is warm. The two that came before it were cooler.
It was the most
One was a
recently
salad.
cooked
One was a salad.
I'm really good at temperature.
It's actually pretty good.
Pretty good.
I got to give you credit there.
Now you see a lot of people using You Cook on a day-to-day rate, like a day-to-day. How would you compare this to like the normal stuff you see passing You Cook?
This is very comparable to what I see some of our more skilled students doing.
Skilled students.
A lot of pasta dishes, a lot of stir fries, a lot of fried rices. Seems to be what we see here a lot after lunchtime starts. In the morning, it's a lot of omelets and scrambled eggs. So this is right in line with what some of our more creative students put together.
On par with an 18 to 22-year-old cooking level.
I was feeling good about myself up until that moment.
I think you did pretty good for yourself. If I was going to grade this dish, I would give this one a 7 out of 10.
Okay, let's go.
Would you serve it as a entree in Ray at one of the stations?
I would serve it at our vegetarian station.
Once again, not vegan.
Not vegan.
Not vegan.
The cheese.
So I didn't even get to try my meal, and I was really intrigued about what there's like a carbonara where none of the ingredients for carbonara are being used. A lot of people were really kind of doubting me, and I was like, I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna go through with this. I'm gonna try it, and I was really happy that Chef Paulo liked it so much, and it threw me for a loop when Father Damien came with the Fruit Loops. I think my sauce was going really well. As you can see from the footage, I really enjoyed when I tasted the sauce. And then Father Damien just came in with the Fruit Loops. Totally unprofessional, Father Damien. Totally unprofessional.
For dessert, we have a fruited yogurt situation here, combining Greek yogurt with some honey to give a little added sweetness, in addition to the fruit itself, and on top, a few dates to add a little Middle Eastern kind of flair to it. Enjoy.
A few dates, I can't even get one.
This is 3 dates all in one. What's that? Well, this also looks healthy. The fruit is cut a little bit big. If I was being super critical, the knife skills, right? The fruit should fit on the spoon comfortably. so that some of the other ingredients can get on there as well.
You literally had one job. You had one job.
But sweet.
Now, Ray sweet treats is like a popular thing here at Providence College. Students getting sweet treats. Do you see that often as being chef of Ray?
Oh yeah, you see a lot of sweet treats go out the door here. Oh yeah, we this student body has a sweet tooth for sure.
So do the Friars.
So do the Friars. They have Sophia's cookies down there at the Friar. You try the date. One of the better dates I've ever had.
I'm happy I could provide one of the best dates you've ever had.
I like the crunch from the granola. This is good.
Just good.
It's good. I'm not sure if it fits the dessert category.
So what would you put it as? A breakfast option?
More of a breakfast item. Yeah, it's more of a breakfast bowl. As a breakfast,
Lent, you know.
well, it's good. As a breakfast bowl or a meal during Lent for breakfast, this would work really nicely. At breakfast, I would rate this about a 7 out of 10 as well.
For dessert, what would you rate it?
More of like a 4 out of 10. So less of a dessert.
Not my
That's
day.
okay.
Not my
Yeah.
day.
Not days.
It's always your day.
Would you have this as a total creation at a station at Ray? For breakfast, even.
I think our student body would receive this better if we set this up as kind of a build your own yogurt bowl where they could customize the ingredients that they put in there. However, I do recommend this combination.
I'll take that.
A big element of our life together as Dominicans in the Priory is something called Chapter of Faults, where we go through and we're honest about the mistakes we've made. We ask for forgiveness from our brothers. I do want to apologize a little bit for being, I don't know, maybe a little melodramatic, a little intense with Father Damien, a little negative. Not too negative, but a little negative, so I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for having to throw away my sauce because you put Fruit Loops. I'm sorry for that.
Yes, I'm sorry about the Fruit Loops, man. You know, but I'll be honest with you, I saw that your sauce was absolutely gonna tank our meal. And so I thought the best way, strategically self-sabotage.
You know, and I
Strategic
respect that.
self-sabotage.
You're a man with an eye for the common good.
That's right.
So, I'll take the L on the sauce for a W for the meal. I can't believe that.
Yeah, what about the cream cheese, man? Yeah.
It was butter.
I don't know. Pleasantly surprised with what was presented today. Had some sweet, some savory, definitely some healthy with these three here. I would recommend most of these combinations for anybody to have during Lent. And I enjoyed being your judge today.
Thanks for having me. I'm really proud of us as a team for coming through this challenge victorious, really. I mean, 2 out of 3 dishes they would serve here at Ray. For me, that's a win.
And a 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7, 8.
6, 7, 8 rating, yeah.
And that gets us a passing grade.
You also got a 4.
Yeah, well, that was, yeah.
Honey and yogurt, good for breakfast.
It's Lent. I mean, it's Lent. It's got to be a penitential dessert. You can't just have your sweet treat on.
I'll give you that, yeah.
It's a Friday.
It's been great cooking Lenten options for you here in Ray. Swing by next Friday and see what the chefs have in store.